So this is me, and my name is Lisa McLean. And I just want to pull something that Paige mentioned earlier and that Nicole mentioned, and Nahala. And I'm going to share a quote that I actually wasn't going to share today, but I believe that this ties into my purpose and my passion, like Paige said. And I'm going to follow my heart, like Nicole said. And Nahala said that we're going to connect through my motivation and by sharing it. So this is for the small girl gang that I surround myself with when I'm at the gym and that motivate me when I lift. Women need iron, not the vitamin, the barbell. We are trained by the world around us to have messed up ideas about our bodies. Iron unmesses them. We are taught that the only good direction for the scale to go is down and to antagonize ritualistically when it goes up. Iron teaches us the power of gaining weight for strength and gives us another weight to care about, the weight we are lifting. We are taught to think of our bodies as decorative, an object to be looked at. Iron teaches us to think of our bodies as functional. Whole industries exist to profit by removing us from our self-confidence and selling it back to us as external objects. Iron gives us the confidence from within to progressively train and measurable achievements. We are taught to be gentle and hide our strength, or even to cultivate charming physical weaknesses until we start to believe that our bodies are weak. Iron teaches us how strong we can be. And that is my wish, whether it is through bodybuilding or anything, that women find their strength. So I stand here today as many things: a mom, a wife, a small business advisor, a weightlifter, and a woman who has a dream of becoming a professional bodybuilder. Now, if you'd asked me to verbalize that goal last year, I would have just been too scared to say it out loud. But it's always been there in the back of my mind since I was perhaps 16 years old. It's been there quietly whispering to me for a very long time. But when I allowed myself to think about that goal, it was terrifying to even comprehend the amount of work that would need to be done to reach it. Not only to mention how it would sound to other people, just like Rosalind said. I was scared. Yeah, I want to be a professional bodybuilder, a female bodybuilder. My personal journey in bodybuilding brings me here today, and the time has come for me to tell others about my goals and just how I plan on earning it through my actions. When I say earn it, what I really mean is to put into motion a plan that can take me from A to B. Everyone has goals that they want to achieve. How do we get from the here and now to the point where we want to be? Can you draw a line from this point in time to that goal? And what is that line? The line from here to there represents your actions. All of the choices and decisions and actions you are willing to take to ensure that you reach your final destination. Up to this point, my bodybuilding journey has been incredible. When I decided to compete, I knew that it wasn't just going to be an item on my bucket list. Not just something I could check off and say, yeah, I accomplished that and I'm ready to move on. It was a conscious decision to live out a dream. I'm blonde now. That's me. I had dark hair there. So like many women in this room, I've made a decision to work hard for my dreams and goals. And in bodybuilding, what this means is consistency, discipline, and sacrifice. In order to prepare for each of the 4 bodybuilding shows I've competed in, I've had to execute a plan of action, hire a knowledgeable coach, work out every day, twice a day, eat 5 to 6 portioned meals, weigh my meals daily, take the necessary supplements, and at the same time, be dedicated to my full-time job and my family. It hasn't been easy, but it has been worth it. At my first bodybuilding competition, I was awarded 2nd place, only a few points behind a very veteran competitor. The day was a wonderful whirlwind, and I vividly remember every moment. Various people, family, friends, and acquaintances were there to congratulate me when I got off stage. I had made myself and my family proud. There was a great sense of accomplishment. I stepped off stage and I snapped all the pictures, smiling in my sparkly red suit and with my awful bodybuilding tan, because those are the stage lights and it doesn't look like that when you stand beside a normal person. You look like a little bit of an Oompa Loompa. So there we were taking pictures, and a gentleman approached myself and my husband. I recognized him from the judging panel. He was dressed in the official judge's dress coat and introduced himself as Mike. He offered to take a picture for my husband and I, and then he handed his phone to my husband and said, "Take a picture of this superstar and myself." I handed him his phone, and I was stunned. I mean, this was my first time competing, and for him to have that kind of faith in me was incredible. I've held on to that day and those words firmly over the last 2 years. The passion for me to continue on my journey to my dream was ignited, and when my motivation is truly being tested, and when I felt like giving up, I've tried to remember that feeling. It is this passion for testing my limits and pushing my mind into a place I didn't know existed that fuels me. I have found my why. If you have something inside of you, but you're hesitating or cannot find the next level of commitment, your why isn't strong enough. Look deeper and uncover it. Uncover the desire to move closer to your goals. My whys are so strong that making the tough choices and doing the difficult things become easier. When I wake up in the morning, my passion drives me. I've been asked by my friends how I commit to going to the gym every day. And usually I answer, because I love it. There is nowhere that I feel more like myself than at the gym. And to be quite honest, the gym is the easy part of this journey. I put my headphones in and I pour myself into who I want to be and how hard I know that I need to work. It's where it all makes sense, just me and the weights, and I fell in love with them a long time ago because I knew they would take me somewhere special. I knew it was only a matter of time before I decided to compete. But time is the scariest thing. It was time that made me decide to compete. I knew I had a choice, and the choice was either to commit to competing or be in the exact same spot doing the exact same things 1 year from now. Every day the clock ticks away those 24 hours, and they can lead me closer to my goal, or I can sit and let them slip through my fingers. I was scared of being in the exact same place, doing the exact same things, and not pursuing my passion. My passion, for the most part, keeps me motivated. But motivation is tricky, and motivation can be short-lived, fleeting, and temporary. It can be easy to be focused when we are motivated. I'm sure we've all been there. The excitement of a new passion and the motivation to accomplish a new goal is fun. But what happens when their motivation wears off? That is a lesson in discipline. And that is the hard work you do even after you're tired of doing all the hard work you've already done. It's all fine and dandy to be motivated. When you're feeling it and when you're motivated, it's simple to see the goals ahead. But when you run out of motivation, getting comfortable with discipline is what leads to success. When you're setting high, lofty goals, be prepared to set small daily objectives that will support those goals. For me, this was writing down simple things like how much water I was going to drink by 11 a.m. Reminding myself that food is fuel and not for emotional support. I've prepared my mind to be disciplined because I know there will be days when I just don't want to do it, but discipline means that I will. Last year, I was very fortunate to work with a coach who was hard on me and pushed me, but taught me the importance of daily discipline. I would get caught up in the long term, way too far ahead of myself. There are times when your goals will seem insurmountable. They're so far in the distance, and they're so big, and they're so great, that the very thought of ever reaching them is defeating. But with a single step in the right direction, it can begin. What this meant for myself last year was not thinking about 5 months of hard dieting, but just a single day at a time. How could I make every day count in aligning to my goal? Every evening I took out a journal and I created a report card for myself. I gave myself a score on diet, cardio, water intake, those kinds of things. And by completing this every evening, it kept me consistent. And after 7 days, I could look back at my own report cards and say, yeah, I did everything that was required of me, to align myself to my goals. But the days do creep up when it's difficult to remember to make the right decisions. The alignment of my goal in daily life can be chaotic, and it's in those days that discipline takes over. The sport of bodybuilding demands that I'm rooted in this daily restraint. So and everybody here, like we had said earlier, faces challenges, and this is just one of those things that over time wears you down. So it can look something like this: getting up at 6 a.m. and getting on the treadmill for the 89th day in a row. Getting off the treadmill and eating the same breakfast of egg whites and spinach for the 89th day in a row. Packing my gym bag for the next 8 hours. Then I know I'm gonna hit the gym after work, packing up my food for 8 to 10 hours. When we're deep into dieting, it means that we're counting down the minutes and the hours until our next bland meal. And then I get to walk around at work and try to avoid all the food that calls my name and tempts me. I leave from work and I head to the gym and I see how hard I can push myself on those weights. And then I hop back on another treadmill and can I raise my heart rate just a little bit more? I pack it in and I head home. I spend some quality time with my son, doing some homework or cuddling or playing games. And then I convince him to put his PJs on, get dressed, and go to bed. And then I usually do some posing or some stretching, sweat a little, shake a little, set my alarm, and do it all over again. This process, this daily discipline, adds up to the ability to persevere. A professional bodybuilder that I greatly look up to recently described perseverance as stubbornness with a purpose. It's the grit and toughness to get through it, but to me, perseverance is truly tested through sacrifice and struggle. I'm not perfect, and this journey for me has its fair amount of sacrifice and obstacles. But I do want to make it clear that I'm aware that this is self-inflicted suffering. No one is making me do this, and anytime I have the ability to stop. This is not an unforeseen tragic event that's been thrust on me that I've had to overcome, but it has value and worth in my life, and it's put me to the test. So as Charlotte mentioned, last year I was able to compete at the provincial level and place 3rd. So it was up to my coach and I to see just how much more gas I had in the tank, as I had qualified to compete at Canadian Nationals. I had already completed 2 shows in 2017. Could I find another level of mental toughness? Did I have enough fortitude to last out another 8 weeks and reach the national level? There was really only one way to find out. I called my mom, who's here, my #1 fan, and I told her that Nationals was on her birthday, and I would love her to join me in British Columbia for Nationals. She was in, and once again, I had tunnel vision. All I could see was the path in front of me, the gap that I had to close between my dreams and reality. We were aware that going into this high-level show, I wouldn't be a contender for the top spot, and that was okay. But it was all a part of the larger plan, which was to be a recognizable face and be within the top 10 in Canada. And that's exactly what I accomplished. My first national level show was July 29th, 2017, and I was 9th in a huge division of 16 of Canada's best. But ultimately what made it worth it was a specialty award that I'm in this picture with that was presented to me by Status Fitness magazine. Out of 6 classes of athletes, approximately 50 women, I was awarded most marketable. I was handpicked by the editor-in-chief of a Canadian fitness magazine, which garnered me more stage time and another look from the judges. My posing, my physique, and my attitude was what set me apart from some of the top athletes. It was confirmation that the tough climb can lead to the summit. And standing on top of the mountain, filled with passion, is the best feeling in the world. That day was the first time my coach told me he was proud of me. Not because of my physique, not because of my placing, but because who I had become in the process. He said, "Now look back at where you started, and look at where you are today. You have become a champion." My unrelenting ability to persevere got me there, and I'm not even close to being done. I want more, and I'll earn more. I'm not going to wish or hope that it comes true. I'm going to plan, I'm going to work, and I'm going to action it to make it happen. I'm currently 4 months to the day out for my next competition. In bodybuilding, we call that 16 weeks. That's pretty common. It's a national pro qualifier, and this time I'm gunning for that top spot. The plan is in place, the fire burns bright, and I'm aligned to my goals. My hope for every girl and woman is that she finds her passion, realizes her potential, and isn't scared of the work required to accomplish it. Because for me, the scariest thing became my greatest accomplishment. Thank you.